All right. So everything. All right. So good morning, everyone. On this beautiful day in Florida. We actually are experiencing winter this week and last week. All right. So can everybody see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So before I get started, kind of a little mortgage note. If you have somebody who's going to be buying a second home, you're going to get the shock of their life, and they're going to when they do the interest rates. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac came down with loan level pricing adjustments. Now, second homes were used to be, they were, priced very similar to primary residences. Now they're going to be priced more like investment homes. And I don't know why they're doing this. I think it's going to really hurt the second home market. I'm going to hurt our market here. But they decided they wanted to do this, I think, to try and free up more availability for first-time home buyers. But we pulled a rate yesterday on a second, and we knew it was coming. We didn't know what the pricing adjustments would be, but we pulled yesterday. I ran a scenario with one of the people under me, and the rate was right around 5 for an 800 credit score. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, just be aware of that. They are dinging them. I don't know how long it's going to last. I think they're going to get a huge blowback on this. It does. I understand some of the concept that they want to do, but just be aware that if they come to you and they're like, "What's happening? Why is my rate so high?" Well, second homes, and I think they're also trying to stop some of the fraud that's been going on with people saying it's a second home and it's really an investment property. But just to let you know that interest rates are still way up from where they were just a month ago. They're in the touching the 4 level, and they're 3.875 in that range. So we're definitely going to see, and that may slow down some of the buyers out there. It may help the inventory, but rates are up. There's nothing that we see that shows they're going to pull back. So just so you know that.
And that's everywhere, not
everywhere across
Florida,
the board,
everywhere across the U.S.
Doesn't matter. It's just the mortgage-backed securities market. In the last 2 weeks, I watch it every day, and it's been down every single day. Now the last few days it's been up, so it means the rates have been getting better a little bit, but they're so far down from. Just at the beginning of the year, we're almost a half a point higher in rate, and it's going to stay like that. The Fed will raise rates this year. That does not necessarily mean mortgage rates get raised. That's the Fed funds rate, but it trickles down. And the reality is sometimes when the Fed raises rates, mortgage rates go down. So, but the public is going to see the Fed raising rates. They're going to be like, "Oh, mortgage rates are going up." So it's going to be a different year. But remember, in the scheme of things, in the history, we're talking about 4s now, right? 4s. We're not talking about 6s. So, or even 8s. So the rates aren't terrible, but just know that they're going to continually creep up. And if you want to get people off of the fence, tell them the Fed's going to be raising rates. That means your payment's going to go up. That means your buying power is going to go down. So you may want to let people know that. So let's get into Kvcore. Last week we went over some of the custom audience, how to export out of Kvcore and upload into your custom audience into Facebook. Now, did some general settings. Again, I'm going to go through a part of Kvcore that you may want to look at. And I'm going to say this again, starting off every training, is that you need to live here in your dashboard. You need to see these are people looking at homes. And if you want to stay on top of them and be the one they go to, you have to every morning go into this. And I would say, send a text, send an email, or call these people that are searching. That is the way you convert people coming into your Kvcore. So always check this out. Remember, when you're texting from your smart number. I'll go over that a little bit. So the first part I want to go into is I want to kind of talk about, well, first, okay, I think I want to turn off my camera for this part. That's too much of a pain. There we go. All right, so up here, when you hit your name, you have your smart number, you have your email address. This is where, when you email or text through Kvcore, this is where it's coming from. You have your web address. I want you to go into profile. I want everybody to do this. Okay, and then what you're going to do, I want you to make sure this is all complete. I had a video on this, but make sure all this stuff is complete. And if you have a question about it, then let me know. You're going to hit edit profile, and then you will be able to change these things. I want you to make sure that I'm in here as your lender. When you click here and you search lender, make sure my name, because whenever a lead comes in, then I'll be notified of it. If you want, there's ways you can have me notified also, and I will call that person, or I will make sure somebody calls that person. You need to make sure on these internet leads and people that come in that they are called, because if they're not, they're going to move on to somebody else. But you want to make sure these basic settings are done. Go back in the videos and you'll see that we did do a video on this part.
I have a question, Sean.
Yeah.
Can you explain the difference? So Karen's cell phone number is there, and then you mentioned smart number.
Yeah,
Please explain that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over that.
Okay.
In fact, I can do that right now. The smart number 941-203-1270. That's the same for all of you. It's the same number. So if you want a number, so in other words, whenever you have campaigns, and you'll see this when I go over campaigns, anything in your campaign that says text, so automatic texts that come out of Kvcore to potential clients, it's coming from this 941 number. Everybody has the same number. Now, that means if you're doing a campaign and part of your campaign is you're going to text a message to them, and it should be in every campaign, they're going to respond. If they reply to that text, which you want them to, because you always want to text them a question, it's going back to this number. Will it go directly to you? Nobody can tell you that. Okay. They're going to say, well, it'll get routed to you. No, it won't. Not necessarily. It's not a guarantee. It's going into a round, kind of like a round robin thing for everybody in Florida that has this number, which is pretty much everybody. So, everybody in our area. So you're going to want to go in and look at a smart number. I talked about it either last week or the week before that. It is $27 a month to get a smart number that's tailored to you. And it would be your area code. It's a 727 number, but it's worth it, because if they respond to one of your texts through Kvcore, you may not get it, and you want to get it. So I would do that. I would get the number. I know it sucks to pay $27 a month, and it does, but it's an investment in your business. You really should consider it. So that's what the smart number is. So let's move on to marketplace. I want to show you this section of Kvcore, so you know, if you want to do smart numbers, if you want to do different things, this is where you're going to go. You're going to go here into marketplace. Okay.
Sean,
Yes.
if we pay for a smart number and we text and they text us back, does it get forwarded to our regular phone, or does it literally go into Kvcore somewhere?
Well, it will, if you have the Kvcore app, it will go to your phone, and that's what I would make sure you have the app on your phone. But if it goes to Kvcore, it goes to Kvcore. There's no way for them to text it to your cell phone, because you can't put your cell phone in KV. You have your cell phone in Kvcore for like your website and things like that, but people see it. But if it's an automated thing, it has to go to a smart number. And that's because if they had one number for everybody, it's too hard for texting purposes. So yeah, it goes to Kvcore, but if you have your app on the phone, then you'll see it. You'll get notification.
But even if you pay the 27 a month, you can't get it forwarded to your actual
No,
phone?
I don't think
No.
so. It was before you couldn't. I know it had to go to the app. So, but it does come straight into here. Okay. It comes straight into Kvcore. Whereas if it goes to that 941 number, there's no guarantee it goes into your Kvcore, and you may never see it. And then, people, if they actually are texting you, they're going to get angry if you don't respond. So let's go into this marketplace section. This is where things like that can be added on. You see, you've got some features and you may want to look at them. They all cost extra money, but they're all something you want to, look through and see if it's something that would work for you. Like right here is a smart number add-on. So you click learn more, and this is where it tells you about it. All right. And it doesn't say in this part, $27 a month. I don't think. Yeah, it does right here. $27 a month per month with a 3-month term. So, that's where you would add it. That's one thing you want to look at. Another thing is property boost. You may want to look at that too. That's in here. Karen actually has that feature, so you can boost properties to Facebook automatically. You may want to look at making it rain. This part right here, making it rain is a lead generation that EXP does for you. They basically run Google ads, and it's really a successful platform. They're very good at it. I think the minimum you can spend is $250 a month. So it does cost money, but the leads that come in, people are actually Googling certain search terms. Like they may Google buying a home in Clearwater, and you may be on that search term and you'll get that lead. So the Making It Rain is a pretty good program. So you may want to consider it. The other couple things that I liked, of course, I had video email right here, the Core Video Premium by BombBomb. I had that because I love doing video emails. You may want to consider that. These are all extra costs, though, remember. And then Core Voicemail Drop. I think that's a great part of your automated campaigns where you record a voicemail and you can send it directly to somebody and it goes right into their voicemail. It doesn't ring on their phone. It drops into their voicemail. It's a great kind of conversion tool that I've used in the past also. Those are things I would take a look at. There's something also called Nosy Neighbor that wasn't available when I was at EXP, but it's very successful. I've seen it's very expensive. It's like $750 a month for a zip code. You choose a zip code and you can read about it right here. It's really, I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money, I've seen a lot of leads come in Karen's Kvcore from it, and I think it's successful. They send postcards, they send emails. It can get you business, but just like everything else, if you're not converting and you're not following up, it's going to be $750 a month that is wasted. So you go get my zip code, and then you choose a zip code, see if it's available. A lot of zip codes around here are available because they don't want to, a lot of agents aren't going to pay $750 a month. That's a lot of money. So you want to check it out. And that's the marketplace. So if you ever want to add on stuff, there's Vanity. I think I saw, Vanity domain. Like, remember when I said when I was an agent, I had realestatebysean.com. This is what you would do if you want a vanity domain that is, something you choose. So take a look at these and see if there's anything. There's other stuff in here. I've looked through it. There's a lot of good stuff. You just may want to take a look at it, but it all costs money. So, all right. So let's go into the topic today, which is going to be smart campaigns. Now, when leads come into your Kvcore, you want to put them on a campaign. Everything about lead conversion is follow-up, right? You got to get back to these people, whatever you're doing, whatever platform you're using for advertising, even if it's on your sphere, you want to put them on a campaign, because the more you're keeping in touch with them, obviously, the more business you're going to get. Because because you want to be in their face at all times. So we're going to go over how to set up a smart campaign. And in order to do that, to get to smart campaigns, we're going to go to, it was a lead. They change this stuff all the time on the drop down, but you're going to want to go into, it's not here. Let's go into marketing. There it is, smart campaigns. I get confused sometimes, either marketing or lead engine. So this one, it's in marketing. So you're going to go to marketing right here, smart campaigns. Or if you just did marketing, you click all marketing, it'll bring up all the stuff in that. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at smart campaigns and we're going to manage them and we're going to build one. So you go into smart campaigns. And again, a smart campaign is an automation that follows up with your leads or anybody that comes in. You will define what will trigger a smart campaign. So if you go in first, you may go in and it says my campaigns right here. There may not be a single thing here. It may be blank and you may think, oh, something's wrong with my Kvcore. There's not. It's just that it is blank right now because you're brand new. You haven't done anything with it. What you're going to want to do is go into Kvcore Library. These are all the campaigns, and you can go through all these. These are campaigns that EXP created, that other realtors, because when you create a campaign, if you want to, you can share it. You can share it so that it's visible for everybody to see. If you want to, you want to collaborate and you want to help people out and you create this great campaign, then you want to share it so people can see it. And so in here in the Kvcore Library are all different kinds of campaigns. They have templates that are done for you. And I'll show you when the templates come into play. They will come into play when you create a campaign, okay, and you want to edit it. So right now, let's go back to my campaigns, okay? This is what's in your campaign. This part right here, it says status. This is the active campaigns. If it's on like this one, it's an active campaign. So any of these other ones, they're not active, they're not running. If you want them to possibly be running, you got to turn them on. So the first thing is you want to go through here and see your campaigns, and then you're going to want to turn on the ones you like. What I would do is I would choose one. And once you activate it from the Kvcore Library, it comes over here and it comes into my campaigns. You're going to want to, let's say you want to choose default new lead buyer. Okay, let's pick that one. And we're going to look at it. Because it's an active campaign right here. And we're going to look at that default new lead buyer. So that's one that's created by the system, that's created by EXP for you. Okay, so let's click it. Now, right here is where what the campaign does on a daily basis, weekly basis, hourly basis, whatever you set up. This is what is happening in the campaign. In this particular campaign, default new lead buyer, when a buyer comes in, okay, comes into your system, into Kvcore, and this says right here, campaign settings, this is the definition of what will trigger this campaign. So it applies to a buyer. So the lead is identified as a buyer by however you have set it up. The campaign automatically starts when status is a new lead. So the status is coming in as a new lead. This campaign automatically starts. I'll show you what the statuses are in a little bit, but when it comes in as a new lead, this automatically starts. Okay. It was created by Karen. And that probably just means she transferred it in from the default part. So you can edit this if you want. And you want to take what I would do is if you see anything that says default or a campaign that's already there, I would just clone the campaign and then put your touches on it. But I just want to show you what this is. So the edit part shows, it defines what happens to this lead when it comes in with a certain tag, a certain status. In this case, start campaign whenever the advanced triggers are on, that's what it looks at. So when the status is new lead, this comes on automatically. Okay. Well, we're going to clone this. And all right. Yes. All right. So I'm going to clone this campaign, and I'm going to show you how to, kind of customize it to what you like, because everybody's different. I wouldn't spend a ton of time creating new campaigns, but if you have a certain way you want to follow up with people, then create your own campaign. The easiest thing is to just clone one that's already on here, so you don't have to put all this stuff in. You can just edit it. So let's clone the campaign. Clone. That means I'm just copying this campaign. And when I clone it, I'm going to say, when do I want this automatic campaign started? All right. I want to start it when, I don't want to do it when the status is a new lead. Okay. I want to do it when the hashtag is, let's say this lead comes into from Facebook. So I'm going to just go FB, and I've hashtag FB, let's say ad. And you see, when you do that, we've already created a couple of them. So I'm going to do the test. So I saw that. So Facebook ad test. All right. Whenever that hashtag is coming in, this will start. Okay. So next. And this campaign is designed for a buyer in this case. And this is now where you name the campaign. So I'm going to name it, for this thing, I'm just going to say test buyer, so I can go in and remove it when I'm done. Always run, yes. So I would say just keep it on always run. Next. And there it is. And I'm going to finish. So I just cloned that campaign. Now I'm going to go back. So I want to make sure I'm in the right campaign. Test buyer right there. That's what I just created. I'm going to make sure it's on. Okay. This will allow future actions for any lead assigned to this campaign. So yes, I want it on. Okay. I'll turn it off after I'm done. So now I'm going to go in here. Now I'm going to customize it. All right. I want to, because this is what happens with this. Immediately when somebody comes in with the status that I said, which is hashtag this. And if you looked at my other videos, we talk about how to assign hashtags to leads that come in. When this person comes in as a hashtag, a Facebook ad test, this happens. Immediately, you get a task that says to text them. This is telling you what to do, right? So next, immediately call and leave a voicemail to agent. You see the method is how it is shown in Kvcore. Who's getting the message is right here. I don't really necessarily do this. I would change this. So this is where I would go in and edit. All right. I'm going to add an action. See, all these things right here are actions. Immediately this happens. Day 1, day 2, day 2. These are the things that happen. Kvcore will do for you. And right here, you see an email goes to the contact that goes to the person that came in. This is what's going to happen. They're going to see this email on day 1, 24 hours after they come in. This is the email they're getting. Thanks for checking out. And it's that agent site is your website. So that'll auto fill in there. Are you looking to buy a home soon or just browsing at this point? regards, and then your signature. Okay. So they'll get this email. And you always, when you send stuff out, you always want it to be kind of promoting some kind of action. You want them to respond. So you always want to ask a question in the beginning to see, are these people serious or are they just, tire kickers? So that's what this means. Email, contact. Whenever it says contact, that's going to the person. When it says agent, it's reminding you in Kvcore to do this, right? Right here, call and don't leave a voicemail. So when you log into your system, you'll see that it's telling you to do this. Okay. Don't know how helpful these things are. I mean, you're going to have a bunch of to-dos, and if you're good at actually following up, then you may want to put little notes to yourself like this. I necessarily wouldn't do that as much. I want actions taken towards that person that comes in. I want Kvcore to work for me. So I would do something different than this. This is where I would go in and add an action, because I got a lead that's coming in from Facebook and I want that lead to get called immediately, or called immediately can't be done unless it's you personally, but I want something to happen immediately. So I want a text that to go out to them immediately, because they left their phone number there. I want them to get a text. This is where the smart number comes in, where if you're going to play with these campaigns, you're going to definitely want that smart number. So I'm going to add an action, and I want a text to go out immediately. Boom. I hit text. I hit add an action, text. I'm going to name this action, whatever I feel like I want to name it. And then I'm going to get a template, a texting template, and I'll show you where to do that. And then it's going to come from me to the contact, and I want it to run immediately the minute it comes in. Okay. So before I do this and fill this in, whenever you add an email or a text coming out of Kvcore, you have to pull it in from a template. Okay. These are templates that are in there already. That's Karen either created or they're already in here from Kvcore. So these are templates you can use if you want. So here, let's pull one of these right here. Are you investor? That's a good one. So this is when you pull this template in, are you investor? This is what it says. I saw you visited our website the other day. I meant to ask, are you an investor or are you looking for a primary residence? That's what the text content's going to go out. Now, this would be one that's obviously goes out day 1 or day 2, but you don't have to use this one. Okay. This is what's available for you. So you don't have to create one. I don't like that. So I'm not going to use that. And I don't have a text template that I like. So I'm going to create my own. Okay. So I'm going to close out of that. I did not do anything there. I'm going to go back. And this is where people get confused. Like, oh my gosh, where do I go? I got to do this to get to this, to get to this. So you're going to want to watch this again if you want to create your own. Okay. Hold on. I got a chat. Let's see. What did somebody ask? Joanne asked, does it tell you if they open the email and can they subscribe? Yes and yes. You can see that they read that email, okay, or they opened it. And yes, on every email, because, the canned spam and all the things that go into marketing, we have to follow that. So Kvcore follows those rules. Yes, if they unsubscribe, they will be unsubscribed from your website for good. It takes, I don't even know how to get them back on the subscribe list. It's a process. You have to actually have them email you and say, I want to be put back on your campaigns. And then you got to email Kvcore to put them in. So if somebody unsubscribes, they're out. But that's by law, they have to do that. All right. So let's go back here. Template. Okay. Here's a template. So you want to create your own templates. And before you add them into a campaign, they got to be here. So these are all the email templates that are already done for you. These are the text templates that are already done for you. All right. You have calls. And this is a task that's sent to you. All right. And then a task also, other than call. Webhook, that's too advanced. Don't even go in there. So we're going to go to text message and I created this one right here. What's your time frame? This was always my favorite and most popular first response to the contact. What is your time frame for purchasing? Because I want to know that immediately. I want to know how interested are they, and and I always used to send out a text. Some ads I would have multiple choice questions, right? They can answer, but in this case, since it's a text, it's just a straight out question, because people will answer text. This is where I think the smart number is underutilized by people. They don't understand how much of a conversion tool texting is. People will respond to text. They won't respond to voicemails as much, and they definitely won't answer their phone nowadays as much. So you want a open-ended question for a text. So in order to do that, I am going to add a template. Okay. I want to add my own thing here. I added this already. I'm going to show you that in a minute, but I add my template, and it's going to be a text template. Okay. And I'm going to put a name in there. Now, when you put the name in there, you want to number it. See where I numbered this 01? The reason you want to number it 01 is because you want at the top of this list. If you don't, it'll just go in alphabetical order in this list way down, and you won't be able to find it. So always when you do a template, whether it's an email template, because you can do email templates too, or text templates, always make it 01. 01. And I, like the other one, I said, whoops, I got to have a dash in there. 01 dash, what is your time frame for purchasing? Okay. That's not what they see. This is what they see. Content. What is your time? For me, that's the question. That's all I want. You don't want a bunch of stuff in here that they're not going to, they see a big message, they're not going to read it. Then they'll just ignore it. You just want a pretty direct question. What is your time frame for purchasing? That is it. Okay. You can have their name in there. You can say, if you want to, hello. And then what you put in, and this is the only merge tag. This is what it's called. This is the only merge tag you need to know. You don't need to know any of the other merge tags. This right here, this is called a merge tag. So if they put their first name in on the lead, right? Then when you put this merge tag, and like I said, this is the only one you need to know, because there's hundreds of them. First name means if in the lead, when they register, they put their first name in, which they do. So this would say, hello, whoever the first name is, what is your time frame for purchasing? You don't have to have this first name thing in here if you don't want to. In fact, I've done it both ways. Either because it does catch their attention when they see their name. What is your time frame for purchasing? Done. Okay. I'm not going to add it because I already did it. And this with the 01, what is your time frame for purchasing? Right here. I didn't put the merge tag in there, but you can, or you don't have to. This is what it's going to say. Hello, thank you for your interest. What is your time frame for buying a home? This is a buyer. I want them to answer that. Once that's done, make sure you have that 01, because if you don't, look, this thing just keeps going down, and it could go into your next page. And before you know, you're going to have too many. So that's why I do 01. It's 01, 04. That's why 04 comes next. But 01, and then it'll be alphabetical. So always do 01 in the front. So you also have email templates. you know, and you can put whatever you want in here. Same thing, create it the same way. You add a template. You want an email to say a certain thing. This is where you put it in. Name it, but go 01 first. Subject, that's the subject they're going to see. Then put in your email. Whatever the body of the email, whatever the message is. You can use merge tags in here if you really want to get crazy. And I think that's right there. So that's source code. Don't ever go there. You don't want to mess around with that. But advanced editor, if you want to be advanced, you can go into that and do some really funky things. And it previews it for you. You can send a test. Under the advanced things, this is where you can put the merge tags, image. There's a lot of things you can do in here to make your email look good. You just have to play around with this. So that's the email template. So now that you created the template, okay, and I did a text template. Let me see if I got another question. When they reply, it goes to the number you need to pay. Yes, Joanne, I didn't see that before, but when you do the smart number, it comes to that number and it comes into your Kvcore and it'll come into your actual app if you have it on your phone. So it'll message you that you have this in there. So now that I created the template, all right, I can go ahead and now add that text because I want that to happen immediately. The minute this lead comes in, I want that in there. So I'm going to add action. I want to add a text. The name of that text is, you can just name it whatever you want. I would say text time frame. That's just for your information. Okay. Here we go. 01. That's because it's on. That's why I put the numbers. It's the top of the list. I don't have to search for it. I don't have to scroll. Always put the 01. You can do 011, 012 if you want. But once you do the 01 dash, it's going to go in alphabetical order. So all the 01s will be at the top. So I put that in. That's the template, right? I can view it. And this is what I had in there. This is what the text is going to be. This is what it's going to say. It's going to come from me, the agent. Going to go to the contact. You can drop down and send it to whoever you want. You never, I don't know why you'd ever not have, it's going to default to this. So you don't really want to ever change this. I want it to run immediately. That means when this lead comes in, I want this campaign step to happen now. Okay. I don't want it. You can time it if you want. Okay. You can have it in, you can select minutes after it comes in. You can select hours after it comes in or days. Okay. Once you select one of these, you'll click the time value. So I want it to run immediately. All right. So I'm going to say add. There you go. Immediately, when this new lead comes in, this is kind of the building block of this campaign. All right. So you got to kind of take it in steps. So first I created an ad, and in that ad, when they register, I define their hashtag as FB ad test, right? So once that comes in with FB ad test, this campaign starts. And the first step is this text goes out immediately. This is the best way to convert because they're getting touched immediately. Now, if they put in a bogus number, they don't get it. Oh, well, okay. So what you want to do also is you're going to want to immediately also put in an email. So you went in the same steps and created an email in your template section, and you're going to add that email also in here for immediately. So you can have two things happening immediately simultaneously. You can have a text going out to them and an email going out to them. You could have a text going out to them, an email that's a video email, and just an email, or you can have a voicemail drop. All these things can happen immediately from Kvcore. It's not, so you don't have to hire an ISA to do this. This is something that Kvcore will do for you, and it can get advanced. You can do some other stuff. You can do a Zapier thing. There's a lot of things you can do. We'll go through it. I'll show you Zapier time in the future, But these are things that'll happen immediately with these campaigns when it comes in. Now, you can go all the way through this and you can make this campaign your own, however you want it done. Okay. And day one, you may want to send another text 24 hours later that says, hey, I just want to make sure you received whatever they requested. Let's say they requested a list, or they wanted to see a property. On day one, you can send them another text that says, hey, I just want to make sure you received the information you requested. All right. The reality is sales are made, and this is across the board in anything, on the 6th to 12th touch. Realtors do not hit people 6 times. I can promise you that. They're not that good. Mortgage people, not that good. They give up after 1 or 2. So what I would recommend is whenever you're doing a campaign, that you hammer these people in the beginning. Inundate them with text and calls and emails in the first few days. And then if they don't like it, they can unsubscribe. So what? This is a numbers game, right? Now, these are people you don't know. So you're not doing this to somebody that's a sphere or a referral, because you're going to tag them differently. This is somebody that's a cold lead. And you want to extract the information out of them. What do they want? And you want to know, are they serious? What's your time frame for purchasing? One of my favorite questions. Okay. You can do it in an email too. Same email. The text will say the same thing as the email will say. But in the email, you give them a multiple choice. Now, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months. So, somebody who puts in 6 to 12 months is not somebody you need to get on top of immediately. All right. You can cut it in half. Whatever they tell you, my experience is if they tell you 6 months, it's really 3 months. Okay. So you kind of get the information from them, and that will determine how you follow up with them. All right. So that is how you create a campaign. And like I said, you can go through all the way to day 365. You can follow up with these people for 2 years in Kvcore. So just know that this is a hugely important tool for your conversion. So you want to go through here, spend time to do it. And what I find is that, and this is not just realtors, so I'm not on realtors only, but they're lazy. Mortgage people too. They don't want to take the time, take a weekend and say, I'm going to do like this last weekend where the weather wasn't great. It's been a great weekend for you to just, I'm going to get into my Kvcore and I'm going to customize it and I'm going to make it take one thing at a time. To this week, I'm going to build a campaign and I'm going to customize that campaign and build it the way I want. Spend time doing it. Because I promise you, if you do this stuff, you will convert significantly more than what you're converting now. These campaigns can be gold. They can make you money. So you just want to go through and kind of look at them all, kind of pick some out that you like and edit them. If you need help with this, I will help you with this. If you're creating a campaign and you get stuck, call me. I can help you with it. I can always, if you want to give me your username and password in Kvcore, I can do certain things for you and help you with this. But this is something you need to do. You need to make sure that your campaigns are starting. You can have a campaign for a sphere person. So it's not texting, calling, driving them nuts. There's somebody that you put them in a campaign, that may send them something once a month. Maybe it sends them once every 3 weeks. Maybe you do a market report. Whatever it is that you want, you can do. And you see there's plenty of campaigns in here, and you can go in here to the library. You can look and see what some people have put in here. Copy. The easiest thing is to clone. That way you don't have to start it from scratch. But you can make the campaign however you want to make it. And the other thing I want to show you is, before we take questions, this part, smart CRM, you want to live in here too. This is all the people that are in your Kvcore. and you want to make sure that you tag people right. This is where you can see what this is a hashtag. This is a status. Statuses are defined by however you define them. You have new lead, prospect. There they are. Sphere, new lead, prospect, active lead, contact, client, closed, archive. So these are defined. Kvcore defines them for you. If somebody comes in and they put their information in, they are now a new lead. If they just come in off of a seller squeeze, they're a prospect. If they actually interact with you, they become an active lead. And spheres, when you upload people in here, you'll define them as sphere. So you needed to kind of look and see how you want to define these things. But that and campaigns can also get started off of a status. So their default status is if something comes in as a new lead, they get sent to a certain campaign. So you can define them off that. You can define them off a hashtag, however you want, like I showed you before. But those are the statuses. We can go over that in a little more depth in another one. But that's pretty much it for today as far as, campaigns. Get in there and do them. Take the time, because you're definitely gonna increase your business by doing campaigns. If you guys are having your own valuation pages, you're going to want to direct them into Kvcore with a hashtag maybe of home valuation or whatever you choose, and then start a campaign. And then that campaign, you want to send out a text to begin with. Or if you're really good at follow-up, just tell yourself to call them immediately. But I can promise you there's very few people that are good enough, or that, no, it's not say good enough. That's the wrong term. Somebody who it will follow up quick enough to get on it and call them immediately. So anybody have any questions whatsoever? And it doesn't just have to be on this. I could take some questions here for about 5 minutes. Anybody have any questions? So the campaigns can be complicated, and you can get lost and you can get confused and say, well, I don't know where to go here. I'm lost. If that's the case, let's set up an appointment, and I can meet you at the office. I'm there 2 to 3 days every week, 4 sometimes, and I can be there if you want to meet in person. If you want to just set up a personal Zoom, I can do that too. I have no problem doing that. We'll set up a time to do it, but I can help you customize. I can help you upload stuff. If you have a, question, I can, as far as uploading contacts, things like that can get complicated. I am definitely here to help you. And Joanne said, thank you. I will take you up on that offer. Yes, definitely. Well, Zoom is fine with me. I can share my screen. I can walk you through it, and I can watch you do it. And when you run into a problem, I can help you. So definitely take advantage of that. If you have any buyers, definitely give them my name. Even if you come across a buyer and they have somebody, I'm already pre-approved. Well, can you please just talk to Sean? You might get a better offer. There's no obligation. I don't make people work for me, and I am not a high pressure person. So if you get any buyers, you just want them to compare, because rates are changing fast, and you want to make sure that they're getting the best rate. And once they lock, they're locked. So definitely let me at least speak to them. On your listings, put in there, that you want me to, if somebody puts in an offer that's highly, I would say, one that has more risk, like an FHA, 3.5%, or a 3% down, or 5% down, I can definitely look at their scenario, and I can give you the okay. Yes, it's good. They look good. So, and there's no obligation, like I said. So I'm going to run now, and let's see one more. Okay. How do they lock in new construction when a home is ready to close? So depending if it's an end loan and not a construction perm loan, because we don't do construction perm, but in the end, they can lock as far out as 90 days. So If you want to do something like that, I would just look at the scenario. Joanne asked that question. We can lock them in advance. You know, I've done a 3-month lock with people to get them secured on their interest rate. That's definitely something you might want to look at. I'm dealing with somebody right now who's going through MI Homes and MI Mortgage. They went ahead and long-term locked them. And I just told them, you know, once you're about 45 days out, let's look at the rates. I may be able to lock it in significantly better. Then, like I said, that $5,000 benefit from the builder doesn't look so good. So we can lock them all the way up to 30 days, you know, 30 days before completion. And we can even extend the lock if it ran out for a little bit. All right. All right. So that's it. That's man, it's starting to rain outside of my house. And I got to go to Tampa. It's going to be so much fun.
Thanks,
All right.
Sean.
So yeah.
Oh, I just said thank you.
Oh, thank you. So any other questions? Go ahead and either chat it or talk. All right, that's going to be it. Then I'll have the recording on this ready at some point tonight or tomorrow. You can go to the YouTube page, which is Mortgages by Sean, youtube.com. It will have all the recordings. So you can go back and watch. And Trung said, yes, I got to get back to you, Trung. I had checked with underwriting about one of the questions you had asked me in a text, and they did get back to me. So yeah, I'll call you later today. And we can go over that, you know, what you're going to have to do as far as getting approved. But any other questions? That's it. All right. So I'm going to end it right now. Everybody have a great day. Stay warm and stay dry. And I'll talk to you later.